back before the language domestic violence existed, because it did not, even in the journals of marriage and family counseling and therapy, the words domestic violence did not exist before the, I guess, early 1970s. But at that same time, there was a small group of women who created what was a pretty progressive and radical feminist organization called Women's Way. And after a short period of time, these very women decided they needed a place to gather, and there was no place for them where they felt really free to talk with each other. People's homes, many of the women were married, and there were husbands and children to be involved with, and other women would say, well, why don't we meet in a restaurant or a bar? But that didn't work well. Libraries closed at 9:15. So this little group of women managed to rent some space above a shop in Nyack, and the most exciting thing they did, or we did, was to put in a telephone. And before we even were sure that people knew the number, that phone began to ring. And the first key telephone calls were from women who were escaping their own homes because of an abusive or mistreating husband. That was powerful. There was no response to domestic violence. It's not how has it changed, it's really how has it developed. When a disparate group of women and men, mostly women, but men involved as well, began meeting to discuss the ever-exposed issue of women coming forward to different organizations and agencies, women coming out of consciousness-raising groups, where for the very first time, women were actually sharing that the place that they were supposed to be happiest and safest at home wasn't. So the group of people that came together represented the National Association for Social Workers. It represented the National Organization for Women, Jewish Women International, B'nai B'rith Women, National Council for Jewish Women, my organization, VCS, probation department here in Rockland County. We were all coming together and talking about this growingly exposed issue of women who were partnered with men, their husbands, who were in many ways mistreating and in some instances badly assaulting the very women who were their wives. So from that, there was nothing till today, when there is Center for Safety and Change. Most importantly, it's been a sea change, and a good one. A good one because a problem has been exposed, and the wonderful collective wisdom of so many has gone into and continues to go into the Center for Safety and Change, which without second is the leader in this community as to how best to respond to the issue commonly called, quote, domestic violence.